say we want to know if x plus 1 divides evenly into x squared minus 6x plus 5. I can do this two ways. I can go ahead and divide this if I want. I can say x squared minus 6x plus 5 divide by x plus 1 and go ahead and divide it out. Let's do that for practice. What times x would give me x squared? X would. So x times x plus 1 would be x squared plus 1x. Subtract, which means change both my signs, so minus 7x. Bring down my plus 5. Okay, so what times x gives me minus 7x? That'd be a minus minus 7. Minus 7 times x is minus 7x. Minus 7. Again, subtract, so change both my signs, and I get a 12. So, do you think it divides evenly into it? Probably not, because we have a remainder. If it divided into it, we would have a remainder of 0, kind of like in our practice one with long division when 4 went into it evenly. It means that we have no remainders, nothing left over. The other way to see if something divides evenly into it, well, if it divides evenly into it, then that means that it would have been factorable. And this would have actually been one of the factors. Dividing evenly is the same thing as saying it's one of the factors of it. So kind of like when you have just a number like 24 and we say that 12 and 2 are factors. They are factors because 12 divides evenly into 24 and 2 divides evenly into 24. So it means it's a factor of it. If it's a factor of it, when we set it equal to 0, those opposite operations, like we'd subtract a 1 over and get x equals -1, so those opposite sign would be a solution for this being equal to 0. So if we're looking to see if something divides evenly into it, I could say finding out if x plus 1 divides evenly into x squared minus 6x plus 5 is the same thing as seeing if -1 gives me an answer of 0. Because if it divides evenly into it, I'd be able to factor this to that, which means the opposite would be one of the solutions. It would make it equal 0. So I could sub in -1 and just see if it got me equaling 0. So say this one we already know doesn't, but say I wanted to know if x minus 1 divided evenly into this. So I want to know if x minus 1 does this time. Then I would say that's the same thing as subbing in x equals 1, so f of 1, and seeing if that actually equals 0. And if I do that, 1 squared minus 6 plus 5, 6 times 1, would be 1 minus 6 plus 5. So yeah, that does equal 0, which means x minus 1 is a factor of x squared minus 6x plus 5, which we should have known, but it's one of the ways that we can check, and it's useful when we're trying to find factors.